Hey, we're back for another episode of the 2 Point Show. I'm Joey. We got Gideon here with us. And today we have a former Spartan, former Omaha, University of Omaha player, and now he's playing overseas in Latvia. Is that correct, Frankie?
Latvia.
Latvia. I always mixed up with those pronunciations. But anyways, guys, we got Frankie Fidler with us today. Frankie, thank you so much for coming on to the show, man.
Yes, sir. I mean, I tried to find time earlier in the month, but it's finally here. Glad to be on the show. Appreciate you guys having me.
100%, man. Yeah, sure. So, for those guys who don't know, Frankie Fidler is a basketball player. He is 6'7", who is from Bellevue, Nebraska. He played high school basketball at Bellevue West High School before going to college. In college, he played at the University of Omaha, and then for his senior year, he decided to transfer to Michigan State. And now he is overseas playing for a team in wait, I just messed up again. What's it? Latvia. Jeez, I gotta remember this. Latvia. He is playing for a team overseas in Latvia called Riga Zeli. So that is what Frankie is up to now. So yeah, Frankie, just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just tell the viewers who you are and just what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm. My name is Frankie Fidler. 22 years old. Been playing basketball my whole life. And I found my way overseas in Europe, in Riga, Latvia, where I'm playing for a great ball club. We're 4-1 right now, and we have a little break this week, so I was able to get on the show. But yeah, next game on Friday. Just trying to continue what we got going right now.
Nice.
For sure.
Well, we got a couple of categories for you on this show. We'll start off with some childhood questions. Tell us your life, growing up in Nebraska, and how did you end up playing basketball?
Yeah. So my dad actually, Bellevue's kind of a smaller town, and we lived right in the middle of it. We had this one gym called BJSA, where a lot of the kids went and played during the day and stuff like that. So my dad brought me there when I was younger, and kind of just I don't know if he forced it on me just because I can't remember, but he definitely put the ball in my hands, and I just stuck with it my whole life. I actually did play football growing up as well, but as I got to high school, I stopped playing football and decided to focus just on basketball.
So you would say the introduction to basketball, you would say your dad is kind of the first person who really put the ball into your hands.
Yeah, definitely. I remember, we have a lot of pictures actually growing up of, me with him and him, rebounding for me when I was little and teaching me things. But, my whole family actually, stuck with it for me though. They all supported me and they thought they liked watching basketball. So, it was a whole family support.
Yeah, I wanted to ask just how was the family support as like throughout your basketball journey, just growing up as a kid, as you kind of started to evolve in your high school career, maybe you could have an opportunity to play in college. Just how did your family like take that in and like was on your side?
Yeah, I mean, I have a relatively like small family tree, like when you think about uncles and aunts and grandmas and stuff like that. So, I do think when like my mom or dad couldn't take me, someone was always there. Either if it was my grandma's or grandpa, or sometimes my uncles and aunts stepped in and took me places. I remember I went to a Vegas AAU tournament in high school with my grandma, and then my other grandma took me to a Kansas City AAU tournament. So it was just kind of full support from them. And my brother played basketball as well, so it was kind of both of us doing everything together, and my family just they loved watching us, so we had full support from them.
When
Nice.
would you say you first fell in love with the game of basketball?
I would probably say my freshman year of high school, just because I wasn't that good growing up. Like I was on freshman A, um, my freshman year, and we were up at 5 a.m. practicing because there was no gym time in the afternoon. So I think like that made me realize like, I really do like it, or really do love it. And, if I'm, willing to get up at 5 a.m. at, 15, 16 years old, it's something I want to do for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I would say probably then. And, I just fell in love with the gym then too. I fell in love with the process of getting better. And, I was up at 5 a.m. practicing, and then I was there late nights, by myself working out. So I definitely think I just fell in love with the process of getting better, and everything, fell into place.
For sure. So when you were growing up, did your parents or any family member maybe specifically give you advice after games? Because obviously you've evolved to a overseas player today, which is very hard to do. I just want to know, like, did from a family aspect, did you get any big advice that kind of stuck with you to where you are today?
Not that I really remember. My mom and dad, they weren't like big. Like my dad was basketball head, like when he was growing up, but my mom was more volleyball. So like, it wasn't like they didn't know what was going on, but at the same time, like this was new territory for them. How at Bellevue West, how we were winning championships, and they never really experienced any of that. So it's not that they didn't give me advice, but I just not can't really remember any of it. I do know that every time we lost, my mom always wanted to talk my ear off, and I hated it so much. I would, I don't know. She would get mad at me because I was playing bad or whatever, and I just wasn't trying to hear it. But I think that just molded me to I'm very coachable, and I think part of that comes from her, getting on me at a young age.
For sure.
Who's your biggest influence, when you were growing up and getting into the game of basketball?
Um, I mean, like as a mentor standpoint, you'd
Yeah,
say.
as a mentor, yeah, as a mentor. Yeah.
I mean, I would say my mom, just because you know, she she was the main one, taking me to the late night workouts, to the early morning practices. Anything extra that she was taking me, she always, wanted me to be my best, and she was always there for me, even when I didn't want to hear it. So I'm forever grateful for her, and I owe a lot of my basketball mindset to her.
For sure. So you came from Nebraska. Did you have any pro teams or college teams that growing up were you a big time fan of?
Um, I was a Kansas Jayhawk fan growing up because of my dad. And then my grandma, like this is kind of when it all started. My grandma got me a big 3D Miami Heat poster, and like that's when it all started. Like that's kind of when I like started to realize how much I liked the game. And so I kind of owe that to my grandma. So I became a Miami Heat fan. And then football, I like the Chiefs, but I'm not that much into NFL football. At least these past couple of years.
For sure.
Gotcha.
It's kind of hard when you're overseas to keep up track. You know what I mean?
Right. If I want to watch, I got to be up at like 3 a.m.
Nice. All right. You want to go to high school, Joe?
Yeah, let's talk about high school. So Frankie, you went to Bellevue West High School. That's a public school, correct?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, public school. Your coach's name was Doug Woodard. Is that correct?
Yes,
Just
that is.
how is Doug Woodard as a coach personally, or just as a coach in general?
Yeah, I mean, he was a hard coach to play for. Speaking, if speaking back to it, playing under him definitely got me ready for Izzo. Just how they kind of act, they kind of act the same, and they demand excellence. They get on you for the little things, but that's because they know how to win. So yeah, it was definitely tough playing for him, but I do think as he got older, he got a little bit softer. So it definitely wasn't the worst of it when he was probably in his prime years of coaching, but he's retired now, and and I do owe a lot to him just because he gave me the opportunity to start my junior year on varsity, and we ended up winning the state championship that year. So um, yeah, I do owe a lot to him. Anytime I need uh, an answer for a question I have, I can reach out to him.
Yeah, tell us a little about that state championship team.
Yeah, we had a lot of talent. Chucky Hepburn, who's on the Toronto Raptors right now. Will Kyle, who's at Syracuse. Josiah Dotzler, who went to Creighton and then transferred to South Dakota. And he was just a freshman that year. And my brother was on it. A few other of my best friends to this day were on the team. Um, and yeah, I think that year we had a good team, but I don't think we had the best team in the state. We had to go up against this team, Miller North, that had mm, 6 or 7 pros to this day right now that we had to go up against. And
Dang.
yeah, crazy. They had a lot of talent, but if that state championship game was during like when COVID started like hitting off. Every other state canceled. I think it was us in Kansas that were the only ones still playing. And our coach thought the game was going to get canceled after our semifinal game, but it didn't. They just didn't let fans in, or they let immediate family, which I people started sneaking in. I don't know how, but family's family, or he's my cousin and he's my aunt, but it
Everyone's
wasn't.
lying.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't the atmosphere you'd expect at a state championship just because of COVID. And we were down. I think it was 15 with like 3.5 minutes left,
Ooh.
and Josiah Dotzler, freshman, came in and hit like 2 or 3 threes, and
Get back into it.
and they started missing free throws. And my brother
That's
actually
crazy.
my brother actually had I think the game sealing steal, and I hit a couple free throws to seal the win too. So yeah, it was probably the craziest thing I've been a part of, just as a whole situation standpoint.
Do you have any siblings besides your brother?
Yeah, I have a younger sister as well.
Gotcha. So I want to ask you, I've never really experienced this with like family or such. How was it playing with a brother, I guess, on the court?
Yeah, it wasn't as fun as you thought because he is my older, so he got on me a lot. He always thought I did things wrong in his eyes, but that's how big brothers are. And I was able to play with him my junior year in at Omaha as well. He was a walk on there. So yeah, it's been great, having him by my side, most of my basketball career.
Do you think you're better than your brother?
Oh, way better than I think I surpassed this probably my junior year when we were playing together. That's probably why he was so mad at me, because I was better than him. Yeah.
So yeah, your senior year, your junior year, you guys won the state championship. Your senior year, you really evolved your game and averaged 21 points and 6 rebounds. I just want to know, like, what gave you, or what made you like get a big jump from junior to senior year? How'd you evolve so much as a player in just one season?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, confidence. I do think we had a better team my senior year than my junior year. Uh, and the point guard I played with, Chucky Hepburn's probably one of the my favorite players to play that I've played with to this day. Me and him were just yin and yang. We knew each other. We knew each other's spots. He knew when to get the ball to me, and so I think a lot of that scoring. Not to like discredit myself, but he definitely looked for me a lot my senior year. So I think just I grew as a basketball player. My confidence grew, and a lot of help from Chucky as well.
Nice. When did you start to realize that you had a chance to play college basketball?
I would say my like junior summer after um, after our state championship. That's kind of when I started like scoring a lot more, and not just normal buckets. Like I was actually making plays, and I finally got my Omaha offer that summer as well. So that just boosted the confidence, and
For sure.
yeah. So that's probably.
Did you have any other schools besides Omaha that were kind of on your radar after that junior season? Like, what made you choose Omaha right away as well?
Yeah, I had a bunch of schools, but the only other offer I did have was from UCSB in Cali.
Mhm.
But it was during COVID, so a lot of the teams I was talking to said, we want you to visit, but you just can't. And so I thought, if I visited, then
That's
then
got
they
to be
offer.
frustrating.
Yeah, so I came out of high school. Well, I committed my right before senior season, so I actually told teams I was going to wait, but then I'm like, man, I don't know when the COVID rules are gonna be passed or whatever. So I ended up just committed, and I was happy staying at home. I am a homebody, or I was, not so much anymore, but yeah, I think Omaha was a good spot for me to start my college career.
Did you have any, like, I don't know, superstitions playing when you were younger?
Not
Or
so
even
much.
to this day?
Yeah, I mean, I more to this day, not so much when I was younger. I always do like three of the same things before I get on the court. Uh, when before I leave the locker room, I pull my socks all the way up, like no scrunches in them, and then I walk out to the court and sit on the bench, unscrunch them, or just do them how I like, and then tie my shoes, and then I walk on the court, and I rub I rub the basketballs like with my hands,
All
and
of them or just one of them?
all of them until I find the one I like, and then I start my pregame workout. So yeah, I kind of do those things, and I do it subconsciously. I don't even think about it when I do it. It's just kind of routine now.
Natural habit.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Omaha. Just your first 3 years you were at Omaha. I just want to ask, like, you broke a ton of records there, I guess, and you broke the scoring record. You hit the 1,000 point club. Uh, you in the D1 era, just kind of incredible things. Your first 3 years at Omaha, just quite the accolades. Personally, just kind of what made you get to that point, and just how did you? I don't really know how to word this. Just what made you that good? Almost, I want to ask.
Yeah, I think it was confidence, and then just trust from my coach, from my head coach. I actually had two different coaches when I was at Omaha. My freshman year, Coach Hansen got fired, and but he kind of set the tone for me. He kind of let me go a little bit. When on the offensive end, we weren't that good that year. I think we only won 5 games. Uh, so it wasn't like my scoring was translating to winning that year. But I took it as a challenge for my sophomore year, and as the coach that came in, I wanted to prove to him that we can win, and I can be our best player, best scorer. But I didn't have the sophomore year I wanted. I think I only averaged 13 or 14, but I wanted to shoot up to 17 or 18. But then, junior year, I really put pressure on myself to be better than I was last year, and actually show that I'm a top tier player. And yeah, I just had confidence the whole year. My coach believed in me. My teammates believed in me, and that's still one of my favorite teams to play with. I talked to most of the guys still on that team. So yeah, I think I just put pressure on myself to be as best as I could be, and then let my work show for it when I was on the court.
For sure.
So after your 3 years at Omaha, you went to the combine before you went to Michigan State. What was some advice that that they told you to work on? To work on going to Michigan State.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like, question was like, can I play defense? Can I guard? And personally, I thought I was probably a better defender than people looked at me as, just because I had to carry so much of the load on offense. I was just so tired. Like, I mean, our offense ran through me the entire game for the most part. So, I had to take some breaks on defense. But it was that, and then just how good of a 3-point shooter I was. I think my college numbers were decent, but they weren't as good as it showed, especially at Omaha. I think I could have been better. So yeah, it was mainly those two things, and then just athleticism as well. How athletic am I really? Am I slow? Am I quick? All that thing. So I think that's a. I'm sure we're about to get into Michigan State, so I'll just save it.
Frankie, as you transitioned from playing at Omaha to Michigan State, so Summit League to playing at one of the top conferences in all of basketball, how is it a big difference from playing in the Summit League to the Big Ten?
Yeah, it's way was super big difference. I think there's a lot more athletes. There's a lot like better players on the court at a
For
time.
sure.
So that was like a big difference for sure. You just kind of got to speed your whole game up. Got to get quicker at shooting. Quicker at decision making, all that. So yeah, I think that was the biggest thing I noticed from the summer league to the Big Ten.
For sure.
What was your first impression of Coach Tom Izzo at Michigan State?
Uh, I mean, if I'm being honest, that he reminded me of my high school coach. They're crazy about winning. They'll do whatever it takes to win. They'll get on you for it. And I didn't really like hit, Izzo's summer impression that I got wasn't as bad as, or not, I wouldn't say as bad, but wasn't as intense as it was during the year. So like he kind of, like flipped the switch, and we went to Spain. So I thought, for a second I was like, oh, okay, he's still like taking this pretty serious. But like once the season started, like it's a whole different Izzo. Like he demands, way more from you. And, I think that's, everyone was bought in last year. That's why, we did what we did.
How did Coach find you from Omaha? Like how come what made him reach out? Like how did he find you?
Yeah, it was actually through like two people. Well, one of them was the assistant, and then one of them was from Lincoln, which is Lincoln, Nebraska. Um, he like the dude from Lincoln like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like I'm not an agent, but like I've been following you most of your high school and college career. Like I know a bunch of guys from the colleges and would love to put you in contact if you don't mind." And he named like some big colleges like Kentucky, Texas, Michigan State. So I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I mean, if they're going to be interested in me, then I don't really care. You can reach out to them. And you know, uh, I was in the gym and Coach Borovich, JB, called me, and I swear this to him, but he doesn't believe it. That the first thing he said to me, like right when I picked up the phone, was, "I heard you don't like to be coached," and that like caught me by surprise. Like I'm not sure whoever told you that. So it kind of made me mad, but it also made me like hell yeah, I want to be coached. Like
Kind of sent you a message.
yeah, like yeah, I want to be coached. So yeah, that's kind of how it went. And then I was in Phoenix working for the NBA pre-draft stuff, and Izzo and JB actually took I think Ishbia's private jet and flew down and saw me. And after that, it was wraps. I knew where I wanted to be.
For sure. So you came in as your senior year, as you were on the preseason watch list, actually, of the Julius Erving Award, which is the best small forward in the country award. Just with that and the hype of MSU, and you said you had a lot of other big schools looking at you, just kind of what made you overall choose to come to Michigan State?
Yeah, I think when I was in the portal, deciding where I wanted to go next, a big emphasis of mine was winning, was like the culture of winning. I thought Michigan State embodied that. The streaks of the NCAA tournament, the Big Ten championships. Just Izzo being a winner. So I thought that was a big reason why I chose Michigan State. I wanted to be at the highest stage and winning, and that's what we did last year.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Izzo kind of finds these guys from smaller schools. For example, Tyson Walker, you, and hopefully this season Trey Fort. He came in from Sanford. He kind of finds these guys from smaller schools, and they really evolve into really great college athletes. So it's really a cool thing to see from Coach.
Yeah, for sure. I think Coach kind of has a knack for like the type of player he wants, the type of toughness he wants to look for in the transfer portal, and I think that's why he's been successful with the guys he gets.
Even he's had great guys from the portal. Even Joey Hauser, just a bunch of great names.
Yeah.
So how did coaches his coaching style kind of push you and challenge you as a player?
Yeah, I think it was just full intensity 24/7, which is what it takes to win at a high level, and that's what I learned over time. At first, maybe the first few games, I'm like, damn, this dude is crazy. But then I start to realize, like, oh, this is why we're doing it, or this is why he's acting like this. We got a lot to win this year. So yeah, I think. But you need that if you want to win at the high level. You got to be a little bit
100%.
crazy. Yeah. So I think his intensity shocked me at first, but over time, I learned why he was doing it.
So yeah, you came in at the beginning of the year, you were a starter for Michigan State, but then you kind of found your role on the bench, and there wasn't really a standout scorer on your guys' team last year. I mean, Jeremy Fears would have a game, Cohen Carr would have a game, Jace would obviously have a ton of great games. Even you, Shinan, had some great games too. Just kind of, what was the toughest part about earning your spot in the rotation where you were getting bounced around a lot at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think early on, and even when we went to Spain, like Coach preached, how we had strength in numbers. So I think it was something as a team we had to buy into. And, most guys, look at it and they're like, nah, no way I want to play 20 minutes. I want to play 25 plus 30 minutes. And, it's just something, as a team we bought into. And, as I found myself on the bench, I was just trying to find ways that I could impact the game when I'm out there. Kind of knowing that, I'm probably going to get subbed in 2-3 minutes just because that's how, our rotation went. So I think, towards the latter end of the year, I was able to, find what I could do when I was out there for such a short period of time.
Yeah, I feel like when it came to the later end of the season too, Izzo would always have different lineups at end of games. You were in the end of the game a lot of the times, or he would go small ball or big ball. It just kind of depends on your guys' opponent. You know what I mean? Just how he would kind of rotate guys in and out.
For sure. And like we kind of, like Coach kind of told us that, and he would preach it after some games sometimes how, so and so didn't play this much just because of the opponent. And, I think everyone was just bought into it and, they accepted their role.
For sure.
What's it like being part of a program with such a rich basketball tradition?
Yeah. I mean, it feels amazing. I think, I didn't really fully understand it till I was fully done. Now that, I look back at my time there and, the run we had, I think it makes it even sweeter for me. But, I just, everyone's going to talk about Michigan State when college basketball comes up. So, and Tom Izzo as well. So I think, just being able to be a part of the tradition and everything that Michigan State stands for means a lot to me.
Yeah, the Spartans went on a pretty deep run last year, the Elite Eight, and it was your first time playing in March Madness. I just want to know, like, how was it? Like, how was it as a program, and how was it as you personally just experiencing March Madness?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was a dream come true. You you just don't get that buzz in the arena anywhere else. Like, I mean, like you're fighting for your life out there during the game, and just because it's win or go home. So the intensity is crazy. practices leading up to it, when no one's in the arena, they actually feel surreal. Like you're like, damn, I'm actually here. This arena's big as hell. Like it's actually like cool to be a part of, and I'm so glad I was able to make a good run with the team we had.
You're on the spotlight. Yep.
What are some of the coolest venues that you had the chance to play at last year that you would say?
Yeah, we played in, I think, 3 or 4 NBA arenas, one being MSG, and that's crazy to play in, so historic. Um, the one thing that was cool about it, well, you had to walk up like this super long ramp to get to the arena. Like it's super long. You can't go up it. Like the buses don't go up it, and it's straight incline. So it was a little pregame workout before the actual pregame started. But then like Maryland, surprised me. Their fans are crazy. Their arena's crazy with that wall of students. Super loud. Illinois is crazy as well. Um,
Two
yeah,
places you guys won.
yeah. uh, I think the fans make a lot of it. Of course the arenas are cool, but how the fans treat you and stuff are. And I'm saying this like a hostile environment. Like I like that shit. So like Illinois was hostile, Maryland was hostile. Like so those places were fun to play at.
Yeah, I feel like those two are definitely on the higher list of the Big Ten. I just want to know, Frankie, what was the success to your guys' great run last year for the team?
I mean, I think we realized the type of team we were. We weren't shooting their three ball great.
It's the same thing Carson Cooper said.
Yeah, so I think we just bought into what was going to work, and we had great scouts. Like I've never been a part of how well we game plan for other teams. Coach Wojcik does a great job with that. So I think we just bought in, took everything super serious, and when we were when Big Ten play started, of course we had the goal to win it. But then when the year goes on and you actually see the ending point is of us winning, I think the notch just turns up a little. Everyone gets a little bit more antsy, a little bit more focused, and I think that's why we had such a great year. Everyone kind of turned it up a little bit more at the end.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Spartan fan. I'm a freshman there now, and I just as a fan personally who would watch, I watched like damn near every game, like from the start to the end of the season. I think what really noticed for me is just your guys' intensity on defense. Like it was nothing like I've never seen because you guys obviously you guys were I think personally a better defensive team than offensive team with the struggles from the three ball, but
Yeah.
it would cause teams to like even it'd be a low scoring battle and you guys would always gut it out just because of how intense you were on defense and rebounding especially.
Yeah, I mean, we coach had us doing this war drill every day, which is you're going up against one of your teammates and just full on trying to get the ball from him, boxing him out, see who can get the ball. So I think coach put toughness in us throughout the year, and we had such hard practices that games kind of they didn't feel lighter, but going against another opponent that wasn't ready for us, we were able to turn it up a notch.
100%.
What was your favorite game at Michigan State last year?
Oh, I'm
Uh,
curious for this.
Probably I think Illinois at home, because it was like our first like big game. Like it was like our first game that we had a I think they might have been ranked ahead of us, maybe just behind us, but like we yeah, that it was an early morning game and that place was electric. I can't lie. That the Brez was popping.
Do you believe the Brez is the best student section or stadium in the country or at least in the Big Ten?
I do, and I think it's crazy that it doesn't get the love. It really, I mean, it gets love, but I think it should be top one. Like it's crazy.
So yeah, Frankie, when you got to state your senior year, what coaches or even players kind of like gave you a guide in and just like a warm welcome and helped you along the way early on?
Yeah, I would say, all the coaches like welcomed me in with open arms, and I think me being myself, like helped the team, get used to me. I think I was close. I was close with everybody on the team. Of course, I grew closer to some than others, but we were just a tight knit group, and everyone had love for each other. But early on, I would say Trey Holloman helped me a lot. Carson Cooper. We all lived. Most of us lived in the same apartment complex, so just being able to bounce back and forth from their room and talk ball, talk not ball, just kind of help me get more comfortable.
For sure.
Nice. You want to go to professional, Joe?
I mean, yeah, oh, Frankie, I got one more question about you for your Spartan. Just when you look back someday, I just want to know, what do you hope people remember from, or what do you hope people from East Lansing remember about you?
Yeah, I think just that I'm a real like team first guy. I just want to win, and I'll do everything capable of winning. And I hope that I showed that when I was out there on the court, whether if I wasn't scoring that night, whether it was playing good defense, getting rebounds, or just being there for the team. So definitely, when people look back, I just want them to I did everything that I had to do that night to win.
100%.
So what was the summer league experience this past summer like?
Yeah, it was good. Being around the NBA team in the NBA facility. It was, a great experience. I didn't realize how many guys were on a summer league roster, so it was hard to find minutes. But I grew close to some of the guys that even were I was only with them for 3 weeks, and I got a relationship with some of the guys. So just being able to pick their brains and see how guys who've been in the league operate on a daily basis and go about their business, is something, I wanted to start my rookie career with.
How did you, or who are some of the big names you kind of connected with when you were out in the summer league? I forget, Frankie. What summer league team did you end up on?
The Bucks, Milwaukee.
Gotcha. So, did you meet any like the big stars, kind of that are on the NBA roster to where they are today?
Yeah, I met a couple of guys, but like I met Kyle Kuzma, Gary Harris actually
Hmm.
when he first got signed there. He was in the training room, so I met him, and that was the first time meeting him. But guys like Andre Jackson, Jamari Bouye, who actually got cut, but I think just a couple of those guys I was able to connect with and pick their brains the most.
Gary Harris, the former Spartan. I like that. Just a little MSU connection. So yeah, I just want to know, like, how was it going through like the combine? Something special like that. I think get to see, like, test out your vertical, test out your, I guess, percentages of how you shoot. I don't really know how that really goes because obviously I'm never gonna be in a phase where I'm trying out for the NBA combine. So I just want to hear it from you, maybe.
Well, I actually didn't like get invited to like the actual combine. I
Oh,
was
okay.
going through all the training and stuff, and just had like workouts with teams.
Mhm.
Um, so the whole process is kind of the same. Like if you think about it, everyone's working out the same, just in their respective own locations. Just the combine, everyone comes together and does it in front of scouts and GMs. But yeah, I was able to work out in front of like 30 plus scouts and GMs in the Lakers facility in California. So yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Nice.
Is it a lot more pressure, I guess, than like your college experience? Would you say, like, at the combine in front of like, you know, true NBA GMs and scouts? Would you say it's just more
Uh,
pressure?
I think like right when you're thinking about it before, it's like, this workout's gonna define my my progress for the next 2-3 years.
Mhm.
So, but like when you get on the court, like it's just basketball. Like everything's, you know, you just put that trust in yourself and the work you put in, and just let God handle the rest.
Mhm. What was it like signing a pro contract?
Yeah, it was great. I had my whole family with me when I, actually signed it, and it felt surreal. Surreal. You work all your life for something like this to be playing the game you love for work. So it was great. I had a good moment with my family when I did it, and yeah, it's something I'll remember forever.
Yeah, you're playing overseas now for Riga Zelli. I just want to know, like, from a family aspect, how is it being so far away from family and friends?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. The first week, I think I was texting everyone back home like I can't do this. Like, I need, I need to go home. Like, but it got better. I grew closer with the team. They helped me adjust more, and I think like the toughest part at first is like that jet lag. Like I wasn't sleeping at all the first week, so it's like I'm up at like 3 a.m. like not doing anything. I'm just so bored. But a lot of FaceTime calls and text messages, back home, make it somewhat easier.
Have you been home yet?
No, I haven't. I don't. I
Dude,
don't know if I will be able to till May. Yeah,
that's a long time, dude.
well, that's when our season ends. We might get a little break, but I don't know if it like a 5 day break. I don't know if it'll be worth it to go home
Yeah.
because travel's so bad.
Hmm.
What's been the difference in style of play between the NCAA and the pros?
Yeah, I think just like you kind of got more freedom. I think the coaches let you showcase your talents more, and if it's working, they let you go. If it's not working, you get cut. So it's up to you to play good and have a sustain your career. It's all on you, performance based now.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to cut you off there, John Moore. All right.
No,
I just want to know, like, playing like across the country, across the world. I just want to know, how's it like different compared to the United States with culture, food, different languages. I'm curious because I've been to Europe a few times. But I only was there for like a couple weeks. So I just want to hear what's it like really living there and and what do you get to experience with your own eyes?
yeah, I think I'm in like a like pretty normalized, like Americanized country in Latvia or in Riga, at least the city that I'm in. Mostly everyone also speaks English. Their main language is Latvian, but they speak English as well. But the food is different, but it's not. They like a lot of chicken over here. I can't go. There's only one spot here that I can go get a steak at. Um, so it's not that bad. If you really think about it, and the culture is cool. I haven't really, experienced that much different. I think the town I'm in is like I said, pretty normalized. So it's been good though. It's been good.
What's your favorite off court moment that you've experienced in Latvia?
Uh, hmm,
Could be
probably
anything too.
yeah, probably just I don't know. We during the like right before the season started, they made us go run these hills, and like it was terrible, but it was so bad. But like once you got to the top, it was like, oh, this is worth it. Like the view was nice, but
Wow.
the hills were so bad. Oh my gosh! And you had to do it in like a time limit, and the time like so like someone like me, like the time limit was like 3 minutes, but like if you went a little bit over, it wasn't that bad. But like someone like me, I wanted to test myself. So I was getting it as quick as I can. and I was just so dead, and we had to do it like 5 times. It was crazy, but it was
Did you have to like beat your score every time?
well, he's like I said, they were kind of like chill about the time you actually got, but like they were telling me, you should be better at the end than when you started, which it's just crazy to think. It's true, but it's crazy to think about. Like, how am I supposed to be better when I'm this tired when I was fresh at the beginning?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, guys. Frankie Fidler, thank you so much for coming on and joining us today. I'm super thankful that we could work this out. And shout out to Maverick for getting us together. And yeah, this was awesome, man.
Shout out Maverick, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, of course, man. I hope you're gonna do great things over there. We're gonna keep watching you and just hope you evolve into a great player overseas.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys, of the 2 Point Show. We'll see you guys next time.